Okay, part two. This seems to always happen to me. So I had to put an SD card in here. Anyway, so this more likely, and I try not to use anything I know to interfere with what I'm getting intuitively. So I struggle with this because I know that you do have a daughter. But still, I would say that this would have to do with a young woman in your life who, for whatever reason, has not been able to focus on something that she needs to, or to take care of some type of a responsibility or an education that needs undertaking. Maybe it very literally has to do with school, or it could just be, something like routines and behaviors of that type. And that would have to do with your situation. So that's saying that is impacted by what you're going through right now. In your near future, well, this is some good news. So in your near future, you'll find some more balance. Especially with the previous cards, I do see an indication that too much of your energy or your focus has been disproportionately distributed through areas where it's lacking in others. And you might feel a little guilty about that too, but more guilt, you don't need to add that to your current situation. But because you're, mired in the guilt and the regret, then that's causing you to neglect things in the current moment, which is going to lead to more regret. It's a vicious cycle. But the good news is that in your near future, you will find some type of balance. So you'll be able to stop focusing so exclusively on just that one aspect, or to stop, I would hate to say obsessing, but kind of obsessing over something that went wrong, and to know the appropriate amounts of energy to invest and things that are more constructive and useful and deserving of your time and attention. Being able to be, again, Rosie the mom, Rosie the student, Rosie the girlfriend, daughter, whatever all the roles are that you have, to be able to effortlessly juggle those. And it is hard, but to keep them all equally nurtured and to be present in all of your roles in your life. So that's some good news, and that's upright. So we've got some obstacles, but they appear to be short-lived. What crowns you, the best thing that you have going for you in this situation. So the best thing you have going for you in this situation is, even though it may look all bad, that is actually just because your perception is skewed. So the good news is it's not as bad as it looks. And your interpretation of things is not accurate, because you're looking at all the things that have gone wrong. You may have had some things go wrong, some upsets, some setbacks, and because you are blowing those up in your mind, you are interpreting the entire situation to be bad. They are not defining your whole experience. They don't represent the totality of what you're going through. They're just a piece of it. And you may fool yourself into thinking that because of the negative, that the whole thing is negative, but that's only because you're overlooking all the positive. So the best thing you have going for you in this situation is that there still is some positive. There, you did gain something. You either learned something or grew in some way. And so although things may not have turned out the way that you thought or hoped, but it was for a benefit, and it did give you something. You got something out of it, which will help you be more prepared for the next thing that you're supposed to go through. So all is not lost. That is the message here. I talk a lot, and I'm sorry. You only ever hear from me when I'm, in this state of mind, because when I'm not, I can't do readings. So people probably think I'm always jibber jabber, but that's just the only time I'm able to do readings, when I'm feeling a little more optimistic and uplifted. Okay, so you in this situation. Okay, well, this is kind of starting to paint a picture to me. I don't really know how to put this, but you may be tempted to, or maybe even unknowingly, betraying somebody. This isn't, from your other cards and everything, I really don't see that this is a conscious thing. I don't feel that this is malicious. I feel like it's just not being in tune with all the aspects of the situation, kind of solely focusing inward and only thinking about things from one perspective, but not from another, not considering how it might affect somebody else or what this might mean to someone else. But regardless, some action that you are either taking or that you have taken, and maybe that's where the regret comes from, it had a negative impact on someone else, as in you maybe had betrayed their trust, or maybe had hurt somebody, or unjustly committed an act that took trust away from this person for you. And maybe you just thought that there was no other choice. There was nothing else that you could do, that you had to. But I think part of you knows that you didn't, because otherwise you wouldn't be feeling so guilty. And again, these are learning opportunities. So through this decision, maybe at the time you did think it was the best decision, or maybe you justified it. And clearly through further reflection, you have learned that it wasn't the right thing to do. You're not meant to stay attached to your guilt and regret, only to acknowledge how it could have been handled so that you'll be more prepared next time you find yourself in a similar situation. This will be a tool for your evolution. This will be something that will help you grow and to do better next time. And that's all that this ever is. But anyway, yeah, so you're currently in that situation where maybe not being completely upfront and honest to someone who deserves that from you. Your environment. Another reversal. Something that impacts your situation that is not you, but possibly somebody around you. Well, this is a partnership. It would be more like an active partnership. So most likely two people working together towards some kind of a goal. But it's stalled. It's not, I wouldn't say stalled. Maybe it didn't stop. There's an obstacle. There's a blockage. It can't go forward. And my intuition is telling me that perhaps whatever happened here, and I don't know your secrets, I don't know what happened, but whatever it is that happened that you're regretting or that impacted and changed things with this whole thing, also impacted maybe some trust between two other people that you know. Maybe it disturbed their friendship or their trust for each other. Either way, whatever it was, it has put some type of a blockage toward their being able to work together and achieve something. Their energies before possibly could have combined to make something happen. They could have worked well together. And again, this probably would be for some type of a active pursuit, like a goal, not necessarily romantic, probably not. It could be co-parenting. It could be on a team, like a sports team, could be like a creative, like a band. Maybe you broke up the band, Yoko. No, but either way, this has had an impact on another relationship, causing it to not be able to work the way that it should be, and they're not being able to accomplish also what they could. Your hopes or fears as it pertains to this situation. You really hope this is all going to be worth it. You really hope that after getting yourself up every single day and facing the day and doing everything that you're doing and going through everything that you're going through, you do it because you do believe that it's going to be for something, that it's going to be worth it, that it's going to have a good result. So you are hoping to soon see that light at the end of the tunnel. You're hoping to be able to get some type of a hint of a validation that what you're doing matters, that it's worth it, that it's working, that it's getting you somewhere. You just need some kind of a reassurance from the universe that you're headed the right direction and that you're not wasting your efforts. And so that is your hope, to just get that little glimmer of reassurance that the journey is almost ending, and that will help propel you to finish it as long as you know there is an end in sight. Okay, Rosie, so your possible outcome if you continue on your current path, and again, blah, 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 you can make different choices all the time. If you don't like this, be conscious of your actions, which I encourage you to do anyway, because every action that you take is helping to shape your future. And all of these things are like a chain reaction. So you can actually be like a magician and shape whatever future you want if you consciously choose your actions. Anyway, So, your possible outcome, if you continue on your current path, is to plant a new seed. That's going to be something you want to shift your focus toward family, toward home, maybe a new job. I mean, this is something new. So, you might end up getting a new home or a new job. And whatever it is, it's something that will contribute to your stability and to your abundance, meeting your material needs, which are important when we live on earth. So it's saying that this will somehow result, if you continue the way you are, in a new beginning when it comes to like the home front. Honestly, Rosie, this whole thing sort of confuses me because I don't know. Maybe that's what you'll do to respond to this dwelling on this. Maybe you'll decide you need a change of scene, a change of pace, and that might be what pushes you to do that. And you will be able to after you find the balance. Something didn't turn out the way that you thought that it would. And honestly, like I said, I don't know your secrets, but it appears that you did play a hand in that and you made a mistake, have some regrets, but through those, and maybe through that, obsessing over that, have neglected some areas of your life that need paying attention to. But after you find this balance, it looks like you're going to be able to shift your focus back to those responsible matters. And that's definitely a good outcome. Sorry for all the blabbing. I do hope you have a great rest of your day. Love you, Rosie.